Oh my goodness. We had some Dracula music. Thank you, everybody. Thank you for the wonderful applause. Oh, we have Jiminy Cricket joining us today, along with our most faithful Soundbooth Theater Live. Can we call you guys contestants? That sounds like
Why not?
Got to be a
Yeah.
prize.
It's like
Maybe-
Running Man.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
pitting us against each other. That's sweet.
You got my
Right.
fist in your stomach. Break your goddamn spine.
It's not a tumor, but I can kill you with it anyway.
Is it
Oh,
like on the
man.
way to the spine you feel something? It's like, oh wait, no, it's not a tumor.
Oh.
I'll break your spine.
He's just a vertebrae.
Yes.
You are
Um,
dead in any case.
All right.
I don't have an advanced degree.
Everybody, welcome to Soundbooth Theater Live. Oh man, my camera's all wacky. Look at that. Oh, it's just
Soundbooth
wrong.
Theater
I want my
Live.
face.
You
I
Wacky
can't
want
run
my
out
face
of
in the shot.
mind.
God
Hey.
damn it! So we have an
Here's the
exciting show
story.
for you guys today.
Soundbooth Theater.
We have another episode of American Fork. I'm like adjusting things. American Fork. Yeah, let's see. What else do we have? We have very short requests only today, but it's just going to be me playing it solo, and we'll let that be a surprise for you guys. Who else? So we have another author interview, but this one's very, very special because this author is coming to hang out with us from beyond the grave, Mr. Braum Stoker. And this is actually
How
quite a
did you do that?
thematic episode today.
Man,
Like everything's kind of connected today.
it's like an episode of Seinfeld.
Yeah,
Oh yes, it is.
yeah, it is kind of like that. So yeah, I think it has something to do with the necromancy thing. You know, we use the necromancy to bring Bram Stoker back, and then there's going to be all these unintended consequences because of it. You know, and shows having cohesion is just one of those things that happens. So what else do we have? And we have Gary's Games.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right.
We have a special Thanksgiving themed Gary's
Yummy.
Games. Is that right?
We
It's gonna be a
do.
delicious game.
It-
Mm.
You guys are late.
Well, we have two things written down, and we'll come to that when we come to that. But yeah, one of them is Thanksgiving based.
Okay, great. So a fun show for you today, and thank you guys for coming. I mean, like this is the second week in a row we're doing Soundbooth Theater Live because we're not doing it next week because next week Thursday it lands exactly on Thanksgiving, right on the turkey. So instead of putting
Up
our
the
weight on the
turkey.
turkey,
Lands
instead of
right up the turkey.
right up the turkey, we don't want to
Awkwardly.
ruin everyone's turkey.
Yeah.
To be honest, we love turkey, even though it's dry. We
Yeah.
love
Not if
it.
you cook it in a bowl full of butter.
Exactly.
You just
Big
submerge it.
bowl of
The
butter.
only thing with that is that you do miss out on the crispy skin. So it's like you have to choose between one or the other. But
Well, it's deep fry it in the butter. It's
Uh-oh.
probably the way
I'm
to do it, right?
salivating.
Yeah.
My friend
All right,
Kayla makes a best
so-
Exciting
turkey.
week.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
you
So what are we
guys.
doing? Are we doing we're doing American Fork first?
Yeah.
All right, we're doing American Fork,
Fork.
and then we'll talk to Bram Stoker, and then the rest of the show will unfurl.
Excellent.
Do we have any news? Do we have any
We do have news.
news?
We do have news. So, by the way, since this is a Dracula kind of special show, I just wanted to let everybody know the deep dive still isn't up. We're waiting for the actual app to be finished and out and available for you guys. And we're sorry that it's not here yet, but it's coming. I promise. It's just, you know, devs take lots of work. There's lots of little things that if they're not right, they need to be right before it comes out. And I know. I'm sorry. We tried our best. It's still in process. Don't worry, it's coming. But once it comes out, the Dracula Deep Dive will come out. And if you go get the audiobook right now from our website, by the way, we've extended our launch 15 promotion because, you know, we didn't anticipate the app to take so long. So in order to say thank you so much for sticking with us, we extended the launch 15 code to that will get you 15% off if you buy 3 audiobooks from us.
Hell yeah.
We've extended that through December. So until next year, that code is going to keep working for you guys. So,
Nice.
but Dracula, the deep dive will be out when the app launches and when the deep dive is out. Anyone who bought the regular audiobook version, you're getting the deep dive for free. So you can buy it now, sit on it if you can, wait until the deep dive comes out, then you can listen to it then. All right. So anyway, that's the news, I think. Any more news? Anybody else have news?
Well, you're wearing a really cool sweatshirt, Jeff.
Oh.
Mr. Bungle.
Who's Mr. Bungle?
This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite birthday presents I got from Miss Annie Ellicott. It's a Mr. Bungle. If anyone doesn't know, Mr. Bungle's one of the best bands that ever existed.
If you don't
you
know,
should
you
know.
Right.
Mike Patton
to
is
that
the
shit.
front man. Anyone who hasn't heard of Mike Patton, he was the lead singer of Faith No More. He's the lead singer of Mr. Bungle. He's one of the best composers living right now, and he maybe has the most ridiculous wide range of any vocalist I've ever heard. Not only is he an inspiration to me for music, but he was also a voice actor on many video games, including The
Oh, wow.
Darkness. Yeah, The Darkness. He was the Darkness. He was the demon in that game. And Left 4 Dead. If anybody played those games,
Yep.
he's
Yeah.
all the zombies.
Oh, nice.
Every single
Nice.
All of the zombies.
Nice.
So he is a great inspiration for me. Thank you for bringing him up. For
Yeah.
bringing up Mr. Bungle, Annie.
Yes.
Oh, one more piece of news. Heroic Villain 3 is out. Go buy that
There it
shit.
is.
Yes.
By
Right,
Charles
right.
Dean.
Heroic
This
Villain
is a good day. And look at these
Yes.
sweet things people are saying about us in the comments.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh,
Good
what are they
Y'all
job.
so
saying?
Thank you for the
sweet.
love.
Yes, J.S. Skrelke says they should be paying us 15% more because those freaking books are so damn good. I agree, but not really because I want you guys to save money.
And SBT rules. Thank you, Russell Life, Reggie.
Thank you, guys. Any more news? Any more news before we get on to American Fork?
I don't think so.
No more
Shall
news.
we?
Let's do this.
All right.
Take it away.
Hello. This is Bethany Lake, the host of American Fork. And as host, it is my sad duty today to announce that, in light of comments made during an Instagram live session hosted by our social media strategist, Amanda Waverly, RFA has made the difficult but necessary decision to say goodbye to executive producer Jeff King. To all those who were offended by the remarks Jeff made while he was unknowingly being streamed, we deeply and sincerely apologize. We particularly want to extend a most heartfelt apology to the family and friends of Curtis Landers. Believe me, we want to bring Curtis home safely just as much as you do. The offhand statements Jeff made do not in any way reflect the feelings of the radio station for the Radio for All family, of which Curtis is a valued member. We are truly humiliated by the lack of professionalism Jeff, and the network, by extension, demonstrated during this incident. After all, this is not some low-key this is not some low-budget webcast. This is American Fork. With that unpleasantness behind us, I am excited to report that to fill the Jeff-shaped void in the conversation, I am joined in studio by our aforementioned social media strategist, Amanda Waverly. Hi, Amanda. Thank you so much for being here.
Beth, girl, thank you so much for letting me hang here with you today. Seriously, I can't even.
Can't even what?
You are the cutest. It's an expression, fam. It's like, I'm so hyped to be here that I cannot even deal with it, you know?
Oh, of course. Well, we are very excited about the youthful exuberance you'll bring to the show as interim co-host.
Same.
Well, okay. To start off our show today, we'd like to give you an update on where things stand with the investigation into Curtis's disappearance, which is something we take very seriously. Our production manager, Teresa Marshall, has been tirelessly following up with the Philadelphia PD and finally received the following reply. We appreciate your concern for your colleague, but unfortunately have no new information to offer at this time.
That seems a bit sus, don't you think?
I'm sorry?
Well, we filed a missing persons report, right? Wouldn't they at least have followed up on it?
I'm sure they did, Amanda.
But then I just feel like they would have something to tell us, right? Like, do we know if they've even talked to Curtis's parents?
That's a terrific question, Amanda. Perhaps you should handle the next follow-up call.
I'd prefer to slide into their DMs, TBH, but I guess I could give it a try.
That's the spirit. I know with this team's tenacity, we'll track down our beloved PA in no time. Who knows? Perhaps finding Big Arza will lead us to Curtis. And speaking of Big Arza, we actually have made some headway on that aspect of the case. Earlier this week, Amanda here was finally able to track down Blaze and Kush, the elusive young troublemakers who so many American Forkians have mentioned during their interviews.
Honestly, it wasn't even that hard. I just went to the old train station with a whole carton of mango jewel pods and waited.
Well, however you got that interview, we are sure glad you did. Evan, could you play the tape?
What's a tape? Hey, InstaFam! I'm here at the Old American Fork train station, which is actually putting off some strong steampunk meatpacking district after dark in the early 2000s vibes. It's so fire, they should turn it into a barcade. American Fork City Council, hit up your girl for some more ideas. But that's not why I'm here. I managed to score an interview with Blaze and Kush, who are right here. It's so dope to finally meet you.
I don't know what this is.
Yeah, Blaze just texted me that some loud girl was giving away free jewel pods, so I pulled up.
Looks like someone's been offline. This is American Fork, a podcast diving into Big Arza's disappearance. The show's created by Radio for All, which is based in Philly and... excuse me?
Philly.
Philly? Too much competition in New York for you?
Yeah, what do you record this shit in the Liberty Bell?
Hey, Philly slaps. Let me know when you make an It's Always Sunny in New York.
They did. It's called Seinfeld.
As if you've ever seen an episode of Seinfeld. How about this? You answer a few questions without making fun of the show, and I'll give you all of these tasty mango pods.
Deal. Yeah.
Great. Let's start with your names. Blaze and Kush are tight. Did your mom pick those?
Oh, hell no. You think our mom's that cool? Well, she's not, even if you think it, because you're wrong, and she's not. No, they're not our names. They're our identities, our digital signifiers. They're our TikTok handles, you get it?
Oh, believe me, I get it. I run social for RFA. Follow for a follow?
Nah, we only engage with K-pop stars and influencers with 500,000 followers or more. No room for social media directors from Philly.
Wow, you really seem to have a very specific brand voice. That's great. Do you mind me asking your real names?
Yeah, I'm Xenu. That's Emerald City.
Oh, those are interesting names.
Yeah, well, Mom joined Scientology the day I was conceived, and she watched The Wizard of Oz the day Emerald City was, so here we are.
Please don't call me that, okay?
Sorry.
Wow, your mom is definitely a vibe. Speaking of, I hear you're in town because of her?
Oh, yeah, she's a divorced vibe. She sent us down here while she figures out the settlement with the latest one. I don't know how there's a lot of money to figure out. The dude was an essential oil importer-exporter.
You're thinking about the husband before this guy. This guy is an investment banker.
Oh, right. Well, either way, we need those pods. That shit is like vapored gold up north. If we were in New York, you'd be holding around $2,000 worth of mango goodness. And we're taking them back. With your help, we might just run the jewel streets.
Do you really need to run the streets?
Whatever, Philly. Do you have any more questions?
Yes, I'd like to talk to you about Big Arz's disappearance. I'm obviously not trying to throw shade, but a lot of people in town are talking about you.
Of course they are. This whole town hates this dude. Everyone puts on this nice American fork face, but deep down they're all the same. They hate people from the city just because they're from the city. Our mom never comes back. Maybe she would if this town didn't treat her like Hester Prynne.
Bruh. We're reading the Scarlet Letter in school. That's a super deep take.
Uh-huh.
Of course, none of the basic bitches from school seem to get it. And they don't get us either.
No.
The girls in my grade are always making fun of me for my hair color. Yeah, it was blue and now it's pink. Get over it.
Fire.
Also, one time I told a kid I was an atheist and he cried and called me a demon. I can't wait to get out of here.
Well, I might not be from NYC,
Nobody calls it that.
but I feel you. AF,
Nobody calls it that either.
American Fork, can be a bit traditional for my taste. Moving on, I wanted to ask you guys about what you were doing the night Arza disappeared. We have a source who spotted you two near the Friar that very night.
For sure, dude. We were by the Friar every night before it disappeared.
Yeah, and that's where we went to smoke bud. And there was a good spot behind it where no one in the town could see you, but you could see the whole town. Plus, it always smelled like oil, so we could break out the dankest nugs.
Nugs.
It was perfect.
Wow, you guys have no problem spilling tea, huh? Wait, you're 15. Don't you vape?
When it comes to weed, we're purists, bruh.
Facts.
Okay, so you freely admit to being at the crime scene on the night of the crime.
Yeah, but the Friar was still there when we left to go back to our grandparents around 9.
Yeah.
Can anyone confirm what time you got home?
Wish there was. Our grandparents had already been asleep for hours, though. They're mad old.
That tracks. We do have a report that Mitt Pingle heard you both talking about how happy you were that the Friar had disappeared. Why would you be happy your chill spot was looted?
Who said that? Oh, Pete's a nerd. Well, he hates us too. He even told us, some people just belong in the city last time we were there.
Yeah, but weren't you guys just talking about how excited you are to get back to the city?
It was the way he said it for me.
Exactly. And of course, we were happy it got stolen. We can always find another place to blaze. It's tougher to find a high-profile disappearance that high-key pisses off everyone in town. All these losers can fork off.
Noise.
Yeah, good one. I bet that would totally trend. You are some clever mother forkers.
No, it's too much.
Definitely too much.
Yeah.
Did you need anything else, Philly?
No, I think that about does it for me. Thank you so much for your time. As always, it's been dope AF here in American Fork.
If you say so. Wow, Amanda, that was some top-notch interviewing. Girl, you are headed to the top.
Thank you so much, B. By the way, do you mind if I call you B? It feels chicer than Beth, TBH.
I love that. Amanda, you helped bring to light a lot of interesting new information. I know they claim they're innocent, but I'm just not sure I believe them. They seem to really hate this town and all the people who live here. They fully acknowledge they visited the Friar that night it disappeared, and they have virtually no supervision. Sounds like a lethal combination to me.
You think? I really want to believe them because they're like the least basic people here, but maybe you're right.
Wait!
Detective Scoop, I don't think we have you on the call sheet for today. Teresa, did we have Detective Scoop on the call sheet for today?
I was doing another walkthrough of the crime scene when I had a revelation. These hooligans simply could not have done this.
What makes you so sure?
In the footage from Amanda's interview, both the children held their tobacco vaporizers.
You can just call them vapes.
Anyway, those children hold their vaporizers in their right hands. Today, I found a handprint that definitely proves that whoever broke the chain securing Arza was, in fact, left-handed.
They could have had a left-handed accomplice.
I don't think so, B. They don't vibe with anyone here. You said so yourself.
I suppose I did, though not in those words. Huh. I guess it is a very good point.
Yes, it is unlikely the town outcasts would engage with some sort of mysterious left-handed person. Unlikely, but not impossible.
So you're saying they still might have done it?
I'm saying it is possible, though not probable.
Okay, so in terms of our suspect list, where would you say Blaze and Kush rank?
Oh, they're on it.
Right, but where on it? Like, are they high or low?
There is no high or low on the suspect list right now because Blaze and Kush were the only people on it.
Oh.
Yes, well, our list of suspects is a living document. It breathes and feels and grows, and sometimes it diminishes. But the most important thing we must remember when examining our list is that someday soon we will zero in on the correct names.
Well, on that note, from all of us here at FRA, RFA, whatever, this has been American Fork. Until the next bite, America.
Oh!
Ah!
I had to switch headphones, but that was a great episode. Ian and Emily are here to talk about it. We're going to do our own podcast interview, and these are our suspects.
Let's do it. Sponsored by Squarespace.
Oh,
Oh, not really.
Award-winning
But we
customer
have fun. No, that was a great job, you guys. Thanks for bringing
Chapter
it to
3.
life.
Oh.
Yeah, very fun episode. Great job, everyone.
Ghost in the machine.
yes.
I'm sure you will not be surprised to know that you have not seen the last of Jeff King. So look out for him to show up again in future episodes.
Yeah.
Sounds like trouble.
So, Justin, we had to do a little bit of cast switching around today because we only have one lady present in the cast. So I had to kind of make some compromises there. And then Justin had to take on Scoop's role. So good job, Justin.
Thank you.
I
Thank
think
you.
you brought the
Nailed it. Did a great
I had
job.
a lot of fun. I went with more of a John Lovitz kind of vibe, you know?
Yeah. Back out.
Backo!
So
It was delightful.
It was
So-
great.
what inspired this episode, and what can we expect for the next one?
I think really just literally Blaze and Kush inspired most of the episode. We hadn't we'd only teased the characters, we talked about them here and there, but we hadn't gone in, and I think Emily and I were both very excited to play around with them because it was a lot of, it was going to be a lot of fun just to write two jaded Gen Zers. So that was probably the impetus, and then the rest of it was just like, how do we do this part? Just get the rest of it. But and we wanted to lead it hopefully in a direction that was at the end showing that the team was a little upset they suddenly figured out anything, so we need to get the ball rolling there.
Mhm.
Right.
But I think most importantly, throughout this whole writing process of this particular episode, Ian and I realized how uncool we are now.
We all did.
That's-
In rehearsal, we all had to
That's
like,
true.
Yeah.
what does this mean? What?
We needed to translate it for us. Rolled.
What are jewel pods? What the?
Did you think that like there was someone had a lot of like jewels like in a Sonic
No.
game?
Yeah, what did
Yeah.
was?
I want those jewels.
I
it
was
reminded
actually
me of
thinking about Tide Pods.
there was this Muppet
well.
Babies like jewel finding adventure where they like went into a jewel mine. It was like a little book that I got in a Happy Meal when I was a kid, and that's what it brought back for me.
That's what they're talking about.
They do put jewels in Happy Meals now. Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty cool.
get the kids started young
Yeah.
on that tobacco.
Those little 3-year-olds. Like,
Mango.
It tastes like a Big Mac.
Yeah.
can you
Ooh,
imagine?
there you
Big
go.
Mac vapor.
Ooh,
Are
I
we-
would totally be into savory vapes though.
That's
Savory
actually not a
babes.
bad idea. Savory babes could be big.
Savory
Savory
vapes,
vapes.
yeah.
Bacon
It's
bacon.
already
Copyright,
Barbecue,
copyright Soundbooth Theater.
trademark.
It's ours
Lasagna.
now.
Fucking
Yep.
the
We're
Great
doing
British
it.
Vaping Show.
Yeah. So
Steak.
are is this just is that it for Blazing Kush, or do you think they're gonna come back?
I think they'll be in the rotation still.
All right,
They're
all
still
right.
going to
In
be
the
around now.
rotation- Ah, got it. Sorry.
That mother forker
funky.
line was
Yeah.
written and delivered so cringily. I really, my heart sank.
Yes.
Oh
indeed.
god.
Good.
Snorted.
Mhm.
All right. Any hints about next episode?
Hmm.
Maybe it'll be Christmas themed.
Oh.
I know we literally haven't talked about it.
That
I
is
was
news
just
to me
filling.
as
I was just
well.
filling dead
I'm
air.
surprised to hear that.
It might not be. We don't.
No,
we haven't talked about it.
but in term we haven't talked about the specifics, but I think we set the stage. We've sort of shown you how these people operate in terms of identifying and treating suspects, and it can only build from here. So
Right.
do with that what you will.
I wonder what Jeff King is getting for Christmas.
Probably a lump of coal.
Dead.
Oh
way.
man.
Yeah,
Come
burnt.
on, Gary, did he deserve that?
Burning bag of poop.
Big
All right.
Alright.
Well,
feces.
Thank you for having us.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you for
All right. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Did a really great
you.
job. Thanks,
Thanks
guys.
for coming,
See ya.
guys. Thanks for the words.
As we hold our
Fuck outta
lights.
here. All right.
Thank you for the words.
Thanks for the wordy
All right.
words.
So what's next? Do we have the interview with Braum Stoker? Braum Stoker?
Yeah.
Bram.
All
Who
right.
would you like to interview you? I didn't get the memo
Yeah.
of that one.
Okay. So
time.
yeah. All right. So Gary, you're gonna be Swales. You're gonna be
Oh god. Okay.
Swales. Be Swales. All right. Let me bring Braum Stoker out.
I
All
can't
right.
even remember what he sounds like, but I know the gist to the point where it's just like, let's do it.
All right. Well, thank you for having me, everyone. My name is Bram Stoker. I'm from Dublin. I wrote Dracula, and I'm ready to answer any questions you got.
Was is it me asking the questions? Is it?
I don't know.
How'd you know?
It's not my show.
Oh,
Yeah. You go ahead, Swales. You go ahead with the questions. Yeah.
are you sure? No. Look in the private chat there now. Look a thing there. You'll see a thing there
Oh,
now.
well, actually,
no,
I think
the
I
private
think
chat
I-
there now.
Well, it seems okay. Well, yeah. Well, okay. Okay. Well, why don't we take some turns? Bram,
Okay.
I hope you don't mind, Bram. We're gonna try something new this
Okay.
time.
It's gonna be like an interrogation.
a little bit. Yeah, we're
Uh,
gonna take different turns. Asking different questions.
I'm gonna
Just 'cause
triple team you.
they come from different parts of our souls, which
Triple-
you
triple
would
team.
know a thing or two about souls, right, Bram?
Every one
Yeah,
of your
I'm
troll
so-
holes is going
Oh.
to be questioned by
Who's
a
got
different
troll
one
hole?
of us.
The troll hole here.
That sounds quite ominous, to be honest. But
A little
I'll
foreshadowing.
do my
perhaps.
best. I'll
Right,
do my
right.
best to answer what
Okay.
questions you have.
Wonderful, and thank you. We
Well-
will not keep you up any longer than you want to be up. First question. I'll field this one.
Okay.
How did your background in theater influence how you wrote Dracula?
Great question.
Well,
Thank you.
one of my big inspirations when it comes to literature and shows, theater in general, was the Phantom of the Opera. You know, I wanted to do something that was I wanted to write a book that sort of brought that energy to the reader. You know, that sense of mystery, that sense of a man behind the curtain, making things happen, and everyone else just being clueless as to what to do about it. So, Phantom of the Opera was
Okay.
that for me. What led me to Dracula. Also, you know, I think fangs and blood just make a good show.
I'll bet
Don't
you
you
do.
think?
I'll bet you
Oh.
do. Why is the title of your most famous work so often stylized as Bram Stoker's Dracula? Is it because you have an inferiority complex?
Oh, that's a little bit forward of you to ask, but
I always play the bad cop.
oh, I don't know what that means,
Ah.
but I kind of feel a little bit put upon by that question. To be fair, to be perfectly honest,
Filthy,
but
filthy.
I imagine because I have a lot of people trying to copy off of what I've done. Dracula,
Makes sense.
I completely made Dracula up. There's no historical precedence for this character at all. People like to make other things up, say that he's based on some kind of historical figure, but that's all nonsense. I made everything up. It's my work. I'm Braum Stoker. Put my name on everything that has anything to do with Dracula. Is my opinion. I think it's only fair, you know.
Right. No, commit now. Commit on to this now. All right. So now you're credited, right, with popularizing vampires in modern fiction. Knowing that to some extent, you inspired the Twilight Saga. Do you feel guilty or any way weird about that?
Yes. Twilight is maybe one of the most egregious pals to have fallen upon humanity, and for that, for inspiring people to come up with something so foul, so horrible, so bland and boring, and just it's got every aspect of terrible that any piece of fiction could possibly have. And the fact that it was born out of my ideas brings just loads of guilt into my soul.
Good.
That being said, make sure to read Dracula instead, because you know you're just not going to get anything out of Twilight. Sparkly skin. Are you fucking kidding me?
So you're
What?
saying that the Dracula in
No,
your,
there's no
sparkly skin.
sparkly fucking skin on my
Not at all.
Dracula.
Jesus. Just Christ almighty.
Jesus.
Hey, well, you heard it here first. No sparkly skin.
No sparkly skin.
On
God
Dracula.
almighty.
Now, Mr. Stoker, sir, Mr. Doctor, sir, Mr.
Yeah, I
Stoker?
prefer doctor. I don't have a
Dr.
degree
Stoker.
or anything, but it feels nice to be called
Dr.
that.
Stoker.
It kind
Sounds
of makes
good.
me feel like I'm, you know, Dr. Van Helsing a little bit. You know, I
Whoa.
based that character. Sorry, you no, what?
Oh, not. No, just the Dr.
Yeah.
Van is cool. Like, go
Yeah.
continue on there.
All right, yeah.
It's said, just to carry on here, that renowned actor Sir Henry Irving was the inspiration for Count Dracula. Was Sir Irving pleased with how he was portrayed?
I don't know who the fuck that is. I
neither.
don't know who the fuck that is. I don't know why he's trying to take credit for my character. It's kind of off-putting to be frank, to be blunt about it.
So actually, we're just getting some intel here that you were actually Sir Irving's personal assistant. Are you denying that you were his personal assistant?
Yeah, count this as an absolute.
Count this. That's a good one.
Count. There we go. That's in the book. That's in the book.
That is
Oh,
kind of
goodness.
I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, no pun intended. Absolutely no idea who that is. And we definitely never had words before, but we can have words now. I tell you what.
Speaking of having words, who do you think would win in a cage fight? Count Dracula or Frankenstein's monster?
We should get
That-
Anne Kelly on the show, by the way.
That's
Right.
a tough one. Mary Shelley is
We
a
should.
good
Shelley.
friend of mine. You know, Frankenstein's monster is big. He's big. He may have the grappling advantage if if he gets in close range. But Dracula, he can turn into a bat. He can get the fuck out of there, and then he can sneak up on you later. Also,
That's true.
Also, he's got those red eyes. He can. I didn't write this in the book, but he's actually got lasers in there.
Oh my god.
Always
Yeah.
thought that. Always thought that
Range,
was true now.
range is always if you can control the range in an MMA fight, you win every fucking time.
Laser eyes.
Mr. Stoker, I
Perfect.
just realized we have a question from the audience that I think
Oh.
we might as well take. Would you mind answering a question? from the
Braum,
audience?
do you think you adding to the current global climate of fear by adding in the fear of the undead? Should listeners be concerned? Well,
Good question.
good
brilliant,
thing
brilliant.
you call them listeners, because I'm here for Soundbooth Theatre, and they made a great rendition of my work. I 100% approve of it. So listeners is right. Please listen to their version of my story. But I don't think fear of the undead is in any way unreasonable. If you listen to this work, it's not just a piece of fiction. It's a warning. It's a warning to everybody. The dead can come back at any time. Be ready. Be prepared.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, here now. Listen to me now. Here now. Prior to your courtship with your wife, the absolute wagon, Florence Balcom, she dated Oscar Wilde now, and yet you managed to keep your acquaintanceship with Wilde largely intact. How the fuck did you make that work?
You might have heard rumors about me and Oscar Wilde. I'll tell you one thing. It's all unfounded. We've never done anything untoward in the bedroom. I don't know where all this stuff came from. Oscar Wilde, he may be a good-looking fella. but he's
Gorgeous.
not- It's
Gorgeous.
it's just not for me. But Oscar Wilde, I'll give a shout out to you.
Okay, so
friend.
maybe not Oscar Wilde, but you were a huge Walt Whitman fan and even got to meet him when you visited America.
Brilliant.
Was he dreamy in real life?
I don't like the implication that you're trying to give me here. I don't know where these rumors are coming from that I have some sort of attraction to good-looking young
Gorgeous
men,
lads.
or good-looking older men, or good-looking any sort of
Brilliant,
man, really,
brilliant.
with glistening
Also,
sweat-covered muscles or anything like that. But
Back like a
I
bag
don't
of
like
ropes.
men. If you read Dracula, you can see I value the human. I value the female form, the female human very
but
much.
just objectively
that they're
speaking,
like the
was
center of our
was
culture.
Walt Whitman dreamy in real life? Answer the question, sir.
Did you fall
Do
into
not
his
skirt
eyes?
the question.
Should have swim out of those eyes.
Was
did
he
ya?
dreamy?
Look, I'll fucking fight either one of you right now. Look, I'm sick of this. I don't understand.
okay,
I
no,
thought
no, no, no,
Soundbooth
no.
Theatre was my
Hey,
friend.
no,
I thought they were going to produce something for me.
Braum, listen to me, Braum, listen to me. It's okay. They didn't mean anything by it. We're just trying to ask some questions, and we're going to just get through this. We've got a few more. You want to tell
There's
the world
there's only so much of this I can take.
I
So
know,
you
I know,
better,
Ram.
you better bring the good questions out.
We're gonna bring the good ones out. We're gonna get you a Danish, and
Sorry,
it's
Mr.
all gonna be good.
No more questions about
Please
men.
watch those questions. All right.
John
all right,
Sprinkles
guys?
on the Danish.
All right.
I go get a few now.
Now I do have
Sprinkles on the
one
Danish. Are you fucking mad?
Do you want sprinkles on a Danish? I love
I
sprinkles
don't
on a
want
Danish.
fucking sprinkles on my Danish.
No sprinkles on the Danish. No,
No.
sprinkles. You know he doesn't.
You'll
let-
have half sprinkles. Half
Dog.
sprinkles at least. Half
What is
sprinkles.
wrong here in the future? People putting fucking sprinkles on Danishes.
You stay right there, guys. Can I have a word? Can I have a word?
Okay, all right. Well, quarter
guys.
sprinkles at least, man.
This is an opportunity, and you are squandering it.
Oh, jeez.
Braum Stoker
Sorry.
is here in our studio.
Sorry, no.
Sorry.
He hasn't been in a studio in 100 years.
She's
I
never
don't think
had
he's even
sprinkles
been in a
either.
studio. It's amazing that we got him, and you guys are gonna send him packing.
Sorry.
So
Sorry.
help me God, you will not mess this up.
No,
Sorry about that. Oh, terrible sorry. Terrible sorry.
All right.
Sorry.
No sprinkles, not even half. And
Okay.
you watch it with the HBO questions.
Okay, sorry about that.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Thank you
Bram.
for that.
Sorry, Bram.
You're
Terrible
a
sorry
good
about that.
man.
No.
You're a stand-up fella. Thank you for
Okay.
standing up for me.
Let's get through these. We just have a couple more,
Thank you for
Dr.
keeping your
Stoker.
crew straight. Can't believe
As our listeners know, all of our listeners know this. Dracula is an epistolary novel, obviously. In other words, a collection of diary entries for those of you that it is not obvious.
Right.
Did you keep a diary while you were alive? And I don't mean undead. I mean alive. If so, could you please read us? Could you please? I know this is asking a lot, but we would love it. You know, any sample of your writing is
Beautiful.
beautiful. We just want to hear it. So, do you have an excerpt from one of your most private entries that you'd be willing to share with us?
Well,
show
like
here?
you said, it's private.
maybe from the day you
More private
you
the better.
met
We'll just
Make
Whitman.
edit
a
it
little
out.
bit
We'll just
uncomfortable,
edit it out later.
but yeah, you mentioned Walt Whitman earlier, and I suppose I could just read the part that I wrote about him when I visited America.
Thank you.
Okay. Let me pull out my tablet here.
Mm.
Yeah, I've only been around for about a couple days here in the future, but these tablets, I can't believe how easy they are to read.
Oh, they're
How
shocking
easy
useful.
they are to
Shocking
use.
useful altogether.
All right, you just fucking slide it up and down, and the letters go with you.
That's right.
Look
That's right.
at-
That's right,
Yes.
Dr. Stoker. Yes.
That's what you do.
All right.
Yes.
All right. 13th of March, 1906. America is beautiful. There's hardly any shit in the streets here in New York. I found loads of people busking on the street, and it was a delight to kick the shit out of them while I passed them by. I still tipped them, mind you, but they were good sports about it. When we reached Walt Whitman's apartment, he opened the door. I couldn't believe his hair. The coif, the shapeliness of it, shiny, very thick, plumy. I wanted to run my fingers through it, but I was afraid he might take offense. Don't get me wrong, I'm no homo, but I would gladly run my fingers through his chest hair as well. My wife is a bit suspicious, but this is her friend. She trusts him. She trusts me. And I was able to convince her that there's nothing going on between us. And anyone who says otherwise can meet me in the alley.
Beautiful.
Thank you, myself,
Thank you.
for
Thank you.
writing this. Braum
What an
Stoker.
honor.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you so
I'm
much
very
for sharing
partial
that.
to a good tough to chest hair myself now. I'd enjoy that.
You fucking what, mate?
I would indeed. I'd enjoy that a
Fucking
lot
what?
now. I
What-
like
what
a
are you-
good
what are you
bush of
saying?
hair on the old chest there. And a good bush on the chest is
Me
great.
too.
I'm
like
getting.
it.
Look, I don't like what you're implying right now. Look, I thought your man set you
Sorry.
straight.
Sorry. No, we were just trying to.
We did get that right. Yes, we got that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh yes. All right. Yes.
Your cause of death.
yeah.
Let's move on.
Wonderful.
Cause of
idea.
death.
Your
What?
cause of
How you-
death is
how you
still
got that?
debated today.
Oh,
some scholars attributing it to
this is
overwork.
a bit confusing for me. I'm still alive. I'm right here.
You're not though. You're not alive at all now. Just no one tell him, lads.
What?
You,
What?
Short fella,
Tell me
Randy.
what.
Have a clipboard. He not tell you nothing about today other than the interview. Feck.
Oh,
Jesus.
look,
lads.
I'm getting suspicious here.
I made the right
Look,
bags of that now,
you
lads.
lads, just you got all these suspicious questions. You got me here in the studio. You gave me this nice tablet, which, to be honest, I very grateful for. I could just look at this fucking thing. You just up and down the letters just.
Has he been given that to keep, lads? I was under the
Anyway,
impression that was mine.
fuck you. All right, you're telling me I'm dead. You're telling me all kinds of stories. Then you imply that I like men or something, weird like that.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well,
Dr. Stoker.
some scholars do attribute your death to overwork, while others blame tertiary syphilis.
Mm-hmm.
Could you speak to that of dribble? Oops, I mean, a
Syphilis.
little.
Syphilis. That disease is for the unclean people who sleep around with anybody and anything, and that is certainly not me.
Sir,
I'm
have you checked
highly
your
offended
Wikipedia?
right now.
Have you checked your
What
Wikipedia?
the fuck is Wikipedia?
You
What
should
the
look at
fuck is it?
Wikipedia.
He wants to know what Wikipedia is.
Wikipedia. Oh,
Right,
Jesus.
all right. So, settle down.
Look,
It's not as bad as syphilis, I can tell you that much.
Tertiary syphilis.
All
That means you
right,
had it 3 times.
a smart mouth on you, little girl. Yeah, that's really funny. That's really fucking funny. Look, you want to fight me? We can do this. We can do this right now.
Okay, no, there's no need to fight. Is the cleric on his way? Yeah. Okay. All
I
right.
think
Good.
so.
We just
I
have
didn't
one.
ring.
Yeah. Okay. Wonderful. We just have one more question, Mr. Stoker, and then we're going to send you off.
Yeah,
back
you
to
better have one.
where you
Just
came
one,
from.
one question is all I'll do. I'll tell you that
You're
much.
gonna like this one. It's
That's a
not
good one.
coming from me.
Yes,
great one.
yes. You touched on it earlier. Do you want to cover this one?
What are you accusing me of touching now?
So now you may be under the knowledge now that Soundbooth Theatre now do have a production of your book Dracula. How do you feel about that yourself now? Have you listened to it?
Well, I got to tell you, they did a fantastic job. I don't know if you three are responsible for this or what.
Oh, God, no.
I don't.
100% me.
To me,
I was.
It's all him.
yeah,
All
of
him.
course, that makes a lot of sense. And these two goons underneath you here couldn't possibly have had anything to do with it.
I don't like being called a goon at all.
You would think someone who worked on my projects would have some respect for me, but no, these fuckers down here. I bet they're your like secretaries or something. Like they're your solicitors. Is
Well,
that right?
unfortunately, Dr. Stoker, we are all out of time. The
All out
cleric
of
has
time,
arrived.
yeah.
Thank you
When
so
when
much
I
for
try
coming
to
today.
get to the bottom of things, then you're out of time.
We
Yeah.
got everything
right.
that we need.
No, I
You
did
can go
it.
ahead and cast Turn Undead. Yep, go ahead.
Yeah, I
Go
thought
ahead.
you guys were good at this interview stuff. You told me you were professionals. I'm out of here. Fuck you.
Thank you for your time, sir.
I think that's him exercise now, then, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ah, fake.
The fair girl.
Hi,
shook her
Jeff.
head coquettishly,
Hey,
and
Ooh, what's
the
this?
other two
how'd the interview
urged her
go?
on.
I had to go.
Oh,
Bum,
heard-
bum.
I
We
heard
just heard a
something.
ghost. Another ghost.
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 Okay.
A little bit of Dracula for a second there.
Did
but
we? Are we
put it
playing a
away.
clip from his book, by the way, from Mr. Braum
Shall we
Stoker?
play a clip?
He was really mad. What did you guys say to him?
He was.
So you don't want to know.
He's
Yeah.
just
He's
Okay.
a complicated lad size.
he doesn't
We
like
got
that he's dead.
everything we needed him to say.
And for the rest, there's Photoshop, right? That's what you do.
Photoshop.
That's how you Photoshop. Isn't that what you use to get people in trouble?
Anyway, so that was Bram Stoker. Everybody, big round of applause for Dr. Stoker. Thank you very much. How often do you get a dead person on your show? It's just
Yeah. Well, we
very,
could do
very
it again
rarely.
without the magic. We just
Yeah.
dig somebody up and then just film them.
right.
It doesn't matter if they don't say anything. People
No,
are
it doesn't.
still impressed that we
fakes.
put that
Deep
much effort
fakes.
Deep.
into bringing them to the show. So, yeah. So, okay. So, Ahmed, do we have a clip to play of Dracula?
The fair
Roll.
girl shook her head coquettishly,
Huh?
and the other two urged her on. One said,
Go on. You are first, and we shall follow. Yours is the right to begin.
the other added.
He is young and strong. There are kisses for us all.
I lay quiet, looking out under my eyelashes in an agony of delightful anticipation. The fair girl advanced and bent over me till I could feel the movement of her breath upon me. Sweet it was in one sense, honey sweet, and sent the same tingling through the nerves as her voice, but with a bitter underlying the sweet, a bitter offensiveness, as one smells in blood. I was afraid to raise my eyelids, but looked out and saw perfectly under the lashes. The girl went on her knees and bent over me, simply gloating. There was a deliberate voluptuousness which was both thrilling and repulsive, and as she arched her neck she actually licked her lips like an animal, till I could see in the moonlight the moisture shining on the scarlet lips and on the red tongue as it lapped the white sharp teeth. Lower and lower went her head as the lips went below the range of my mouth and chin and seemed about to fasten on my throat. Then she paused, and I could hear the churning sound of her tongue as it licked her teeth and lips, and could feel the hot breath on my neck. Then the skin of my throat began to tingle, as one's flesh does when the hand that is to tickle it approaches nearer. Nearer. I could feel the soft, shivering touch of the lips on the super-sensitive skin of my throat, and the hard dents of two sharp teeth, just touching and pausing there. I closed my eyes in a languorous ecstasy, and waited. Waited, with beating heart. But at that instant, another sensation swept through me as quick as lightning. I was conscious of the presence of the Count, and of his being as if lapped in a storm of fury. As my eyes opened involuntarily, I saw his strong hand grasp the slender neck of the fair woman and with giant's power draw it back, the blue eyes transformed with fury, the white teeth champing with rage, and the fair cheeks blazing red with passion. But the Count! Never did I imagine such wrath and fury, even to the demons of the pit. His eyes were positively blazing. The red light in them was lurid, as if the flames of hellfire blazed behind them. His face was deathly pale, and the lines of it were hard like drawn wires. The thick eyebrows that met over the nose now seemed like a heaving bar of white-hot metal. With a fierce sweep of his arm, he hurled the woman from him, and then motioned to the others as though he were beating them back. It was the same imperious gesture that I had seen used to the wolves. In a voice which, though low and almost in a whisper, seemed to cut through the air and then ring round the room, he said,
"How dare you touch him, any of you? How dare you cast eyes on him when I had forbidden it? Back, I tell you all, this man belongs to me. Beware how you meddle with him, or you'll have to deal with me."
The fair girl, with a laugh of ribald coquetry, turned to answer him.
You yourself never loved. You never love.
On this, the other women joined, and such a mirthless, hard, soulless laughter rang through the room that it almost made me faint to hear. It seemed like the pleasure of fiends. Then the Count turned, after looking at my face attentively, and said in a soft whisper,
"Yes, I too can love. You yourselves can tell it from the past. Is it not so? Well, now I promise you that when I am done with him, you shall kiss him at your will. Now go! Go! I must awaken him, for there is work to be done."
Are we to have nothing tonight?
said one of them, with a low laugh, as she pointed to the bag which he had thrown upon the floor, and which moved as though there was some living thing within it. For answer, he nodded his head. One of the women jumped forward and opened it. If my ears did not deceive me, there was a gasp and a low wail, as of a half-smothered child. The women...
Yeah. All right, that's some Dracula.
Hey.
That is beautiful.
You should all go buy it. Okay, so what's next? We have Gary's Games, and I think we can close with the request.
Open with music and close with
okay.
music.
Yes, exactly. So
I like it.
I have not had time to rehearse it at all. I do kind of need to do that. So how about you guys play your games? I'll come in maybe I don't know, as whenever I can. I'll come in as soon as I can after I've like gone through it a couple times.
Okay.
Yep.
and then
Okay.
Do you need 3 people, or does it matter?
We can do it if so audience, here's the game essentially. The
I wanna
3
know
of
what
us are experts, the 3 remaining people. One of us will give you good advice, the best advice. The next person will give you bad advice, and the last person will give you the worst advice ever. And the topic of today is preparing your Thanksgiving dinner. So if you have any questions about how to prepare your Thanksgiving dinner, please ask us. And now we need to assign who gives what level of advice.
Okay, I'm totally jelly that you guys get to do this without me, but I'm gonna go. So you can go ahead and pop me out. I'll be back.
Jeff.
Okay, so who would like to give the good advice? It would need some degree of cooking knowledge.
Oh, I have some. I have
Or
some cooking knowledge. How are you, Annie?
Yeah, I mean, I have some cooking knowledge. I'm
I mean, it's
certainly
not
no master
necessary.
chef, but you know, I can
Yeah.
give
Okay, I think Annie's probably the
not
best.
bad
I'm
advice.
not very good.
Would you like to give bad advice, Justin, or terrible advice?
I'll give some bad advice.
Bad advice?
Yeah.
Okay, and our first question. How long do you put a 20-pound turkey in the microwave? Maybe we modified that. How would one cook a 20-pound turkey?
There we go.
Good advice from Ms. Anna Ellicott.
How would you cook a 20-pound turkey? Not in the microwave, just cook it.
So you would cook it in an oven?
I first of all, I wouldn't put it in the microwave. I wouldn't put it in the microwave. But you know, there are 2 very tasty options for making a 20-pound turkey. If you have access to an industrial deep fryer, say if you own a restaurant or have keys to that restaurant, you can put that turkey in the industrial deep fryer.
That's a good.
For about an
that
hour
would
or
yield
2.
a tasty turkey.
And that would make a very tasty turkey. Or you could get a big metal bowl that's that you could submerge the turkey in. You put you're gonna want I'm not kidding. You want 10 sticks of butter. You can put 10 sticks of butter in there. Fill that thing up with water so the turkey's mostly submerged. Okay, and then you're gonna cook the turkey in the oven at about 350, 400 for hours. You're going to be regularly basting that sucker as well. And it's also submerged. And don't be afraid to salt the shit out of it. That's a lot of meat and a lot of water and butter.
Okay, very good advice. Justin, some bad advice, please.
Advice. Well, I'll give you my advice. I've never cooked a 20-pound turkey, but I am clearly an expert on this. What I would do first is thaw it out. Just make sure it's good and not frozen. That's, great place to start with any meat, right? And then it's big. Turkeys are big. They take a long time to cook. So what I recommend is chopping it into little pieces, maybe around an inch to an inch and a half each piece. Make sure that it's about pretty uniform. You want it to be uniform so you don't have uneven cooking throughout it. And then you can take all of those pieces. It should take you, a couple hours to cut all of the pieces so that they're uniformly square cubes. You take those and you'll want to put them in water, boil them. Hot water.
Maximum flavor.
Hot water, you just boil water. And then just pour it over. You put them in like a pan, just like a regular pan, and then just pour the boiling kettle water over it. Leave that for 5 minutes or so, and then pop it in the oven. Maybe if it's not, you don't want it to be undercooked. So you just make sure that it's heated. So if it's still a little pink on the inside, just pop it in the oven. Like Annie was saying, 300, 400 degrees. And there you go. Bing, bang, boom. You take those pieces out, put them back together in the shape of a turkey, and boom, you got a turkey.
I hear what you're both saying. I really can't say that I agree. My method would start 2 or 3 days before you even take the turkey out of the vessel it's in, be it the fridge or whatever. Go for a run every day, 3 days prior to cooking the turkey, and do not shower for any of these days.
Okay.
When it comes time to cook the turkey, take all of your clothing off and hug it with your sweaty naked body for about 2 months. And that will yield a salty, sweet, very tender turkey. Oh yeah, if you ran the correct distance, you're danglies. You don't want to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you can dangle anything over it, do that. And if you've got a friend with more or bigger danglies, you want that person over to help you cook that turkey.
Okay.
So are you saying that this could be a group
That's
effort?
quite an that's
This
a
could be a group effort.
kind of a
Yep,
time commitment though.
it
2
is.
months is a long
Thanksgiving
time.
comes 2
Yeah.
months, 2 months and 3 days before
And
the
the holidays
actual
are a
meal is
particularly
served.
busy time, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but if you want the ultimate in tasty
Otherwise,
turkey,
that's a good idea. I just think that
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is it okay to serve cranberry sauce from a can?
Okay, so I have to tell you, I have a couple of answers here.
Okay.
When it's Thanksgiving, you have to make, you might be making like 7 completely different dishes.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually have a bit of a sort of a nostalgia for cranberry sauce out of the can because that's how my family had it when I was a kid. It was one of my favorite things on the table, even though it came out of a can and the other things were homemade. I just loved that cranberry sauce out of the can. I loved that it came out in the shape of the can and then you could just slice it. You could just like eat a patty of cranberry sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But I will also say that, if you're not overtaxed, cranberry sauce is one of the easiest things to make. And it really is delicious when it's not out of the can. All you have to do is get cranberries, put a whole bunch of sugar in water in those cranberries, and cook it down on the stove. Let it simmer till it reduces. It's so easy. You might as well make it, for real. But if you really just don't have any more fucks to give, cranberry sauce out of the can is fine.
Yeah,
Okay.
and I've got to agree with it, and actually, I would recommend that you actually serve it out of the can on the table. You don't take it out, you don't put it in a nice bowl or anything. You
Okay.
just leave it in the can itself, among all of your other dishes, your cube turkey and things, and you just you ask people to just drink from it. They could take their hands and stick it in. The reason you want to use it
Cranberry
in a
fingers.
can, yeah, just like a couple fingers, just right in there.
Okay.
And the reason you want to do that is because cans are very, they're thin. They're thin cylinders
Yeah.
that don't take up a lot of room. You got a lot of room being taken up, by 20-pound sweat turkeys on your
Yeah,
table.
definitely.
You want space is, it's limited. So cans, efficient use of space for cranberry sauce. Serve it right out, straight out of it.
Fully agree. I wouldn't even open the can. Leave the can on the table, fully sealed. And when it comes time to eat the cranberry sauce, however you would like it, I mean, just everyone picks it up, throws it at the head of someone else. If it doesn't open, the person, takes it off their head, throws it at someone else. Eventually, when that cracks open, or someone goes to the hospital, you've made an event. You've had an event on the day. How you've had some fun. You've
Something
got
to
your
share with the
exercise.
grandkids.
Perfect.
Yeah, and if it bursts open, that person gets all the cranberry sauce.
And
All
if
of
they find a little plastic baby in this sauce,
Oh
they've
yes.
got good luck for the whole year.
Oh yeah,
I
definitely.
didn't know that.
Oh yeah. Takes an Irishman to tell you these things about an American holiday.
Oh man.
Do we have so how are we doing for time? Do we have one more or shall we close her out? And Jeff, do you want to take the terrible advice this time?
I can give terrible advice. Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm down for one more. Do we have any more?
Oh,
To
yeah.
make ham
Someone
instead of
said,
turkey. Okay.
yeah, ham instead of turkey.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it doesn't break any of your kosher laws, then I see no reason why you couldn't substitute turkey for ham if you like ham better. If you eat something that really tastes wonderful, you're going to probably have more thankfulness. So do what you like.
Right.
Modern.
So that's right. The question is, can you substitute ham for turkey?
Is it acceptable? Yeah, can you do
Is it
that? Yeah.
acceptable?
Mhm.
I say
You
yes.
can.
I mean, this is kind of a strange holiday. It's
Yeah.
Why not?
I personally like to figure this out every year. I don't make the decision myself, and I encourage you to do this as well. Is let fate decide. Get a turkey, get a pig, put them in a ring, take away their food,
There you
and see
go.
what happens. And you know what? And whoever wins is going to get nice and fat, and then you'll be able to cook both if you want to. But I mean, to the victor the spoils. You could donate.
I guess you will be sort of eating them both in a sense.
Yeah.
Well, I like to donate mine. I think that it's a time of year where it's a good idea to spread the wealth. So to whoever loses, I just donate that, and then I keep the victor. And then you can cook it using the cube method if you want, or
Very free range.
other methods. Exactly.
The cube
Exactly.
method, yes.
Yeah, great. Yeah, so I appreciate both your guys' points of view, and like it's very valuable to hear from other cultures about how, Thanksgiving is handled in their household. But I will also say that you're both heathens. You're both horrible people
So that's a strong
for
Makes
even
sense.
suggesting that you can have ham instead of turkey. And, it used to be maybe 20 years ago, not even 20 years, maybe 15 years ago, me and my buddies, we would go out on Thanksgiving and look in people's windows to see, do they have turkey on the table? Do they have ham on the table? If they have ham on the table, we just, break the window right in, set everything on fire, and murder all their children. Because,
Oh.
Jesus doesn't dig that. Jesus made Thanksgiving so that turkeys would die. And you guys aren't doing
It's in
your
the
part.
Bible.
It's
Yeah.
in the Bible.
Right in there.
Okay.
It has it
Right
has
next
to
to
happen.
Christmas.
The infidels
It could
need
be.
to
I
die.
haven't read it cover to cover.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I
we have
couldn't
one
call your
last
bluff there.
question from our very own Emily. Stuffing inside or outside of the turkey, when it's outside, is it technically dressing?
Oh. Yes.
It is dressing when it's outside, so therefore it cannot be stuffing unless it's in the anal cavity of the turkey.
It's not actually the turkey's anal cavity. It's kind of the body cavity.
It's the organ
Yeah.
hole.
Yeah.
Agree
It
to
covers
disagree. I leave
the
the
cavity
anus in when I
covers
cook my
more than
turkey.
just the anal and rectal area of the
Right.
turkey.
Okay.
But I mean, if you were, let people call it what they want to call it. You know what they're talking about. Thanksgiving is about giving thanks, not being a nitpicky bitch. So
Yes.
take either word, either term works.
Okay, Justin.
So I don't know anything about what semantics. But if we're asking about whether or not there should, stuffing is inside or outside of the turkey, I say no stuffing. Don't
Very
have
modern
stuffing at
take.
Thanksgiving. None. It's horrible. It tastes gross. It looks gross. And it
It
tastes
does sort
gross.
of seem like it's the turkey's poop or something. When you're like pulling it out. I thought it
basically
was kind of a weird.
yeah. Don't eat stuffing. Don't even look at stuffing. And
Don't even look at it, huh?
yeah. I'd say avoid it just completely, and just get some ranch. Just get some ranch dressing,
Should you put that
just all
in
over
the
the turkey. Yeah.
Or
on
within
it so that
the
it's
turkey.
dressing? It's not
So that it's
stuffing 'cause
dressing.
it's
You want
on
dressing?
the turkey, not
You get
in
dressing.
the turkey. Yeah.
Exactly.
So you can't stuff a turkey with just a lot of ranch dressing. Does it become
I
ranch
have.
stuffing then?
I have. Oh, does it become ranch stuffing?
Just a stood up turkey with a boiling pit of ranch in its cavity.
That's a good question. It's a good
Deep
question.
fried
maybe
that
beyond that.
turkey in the ranch, in the industrial deep fryer.
Jeff, any comments on that turkey?
Yeah. So I'm not really sure what this whole stuffing dressing into a turkey thing is. It totally makes no sense to me. It's called dressing. You don't wear your dress in your butt.
It can
You wear your
sometimes get
dress
up in there though.
on the outside. If you want dressing on a turkey, make sure that it, number one, looks good, right? It's got to maybe red with some sequins, something really festive,
Bow
right?
tie.
Bow tie would work with a dress in sequins, right? I mean, like there's nice contrast there. You get the nice formal collar, but you get some fun going on as well. Also,
Tassels.
I think make sure, and this is key, is to make sure that the dress fits the turkey. It's really hard to find dresses that are that small, but if you care about the holidays, if you care about Jesus and how he wants turkeys to be dressed, you will find a dress that actually fits your turkey, so that it represents Jesus in the most appropriate way possible.
And that brings in today's sponsor, turkeytailors.com, for all your turkey haberdashery. Go to turkeytailors.com to dress your turkey perfectly this Thanksgiving.
Right. Great. Yeah, this is I'm so glad I can give advice to our listeners and make sure that they don't
That was
fuck
terrible
up their
advice.
own holiday.
That was terrible advice, Jeff.
It really
Good
was.
job.
It was
Good
excellent.
Good
Excellent.
job,
terrible.
Jeff. Terrible
Thank
advice.
Thank you. Thank you. All right. All right. So that's it for Gary's games, right?
Go
Is that-
cook.
Hey!
This advice.
All right. Well, I think this was a solid show, everyone. Thank you, audience, for being so audience.
Yes.
Thank
The
you.
good old audience gong.
Thank you, Bram Stoker, for being so clocked. Thank you, Justin and Gary and Annie, for running Gary's games while I was away, practicing the thing that I will now be playing you guys out.
Cannot wait.
Okay.
It was
All
the request.
Oh,
Actually, we've already. All right. Come on.
it's a long sequence.
So this is funny because the actual request, we've already done a song from It's Always Sunny's musical.
I feel like it was very early on we did
Yeah,
it.
it was
Yes.
maybe maybe even more than a year
But
ago.
it wasn't this song.
It was
It
not.
wasn't this song. So in honor of Dracula, I will sing a song from It's Always Funny in Philadelphia's musical as Dracula, as the Nightman, right? Very appropriate. I couldn't believe actually how appropriate this song was once I looked at the lyrics. So yeah, Dracula singing a song. So again, thank you guys so much for coming and watching the show, for supporting us. Please like, subscribe, all that stuff. Go to our website, check out our new market. There's more than 20 titles there for you guys to choose from. And again, thank you so much for everybody who's already contributed to our website. And please watch out for that app. It's coming soon. Buy Dracula, you'll get the deep dive as soon as that's ready for free. All right,
Hell yeah.
here goes.
Do it.
Yeah, that's right, I'm the Nightman. But I'm not just a bad guy, all right? I wrote a little song so you can understand why I do the things I do a little bit more better. Goes with something like this. Some people are born skinny. Some people are born fat. Some people are born evil, with the eyes of a cat. It's nature. Shit happens. There's nothing you can do. For what made Jeffrey Dahmer tick or Hitler hate the Jews? It's nature. Shit happens. There's nothing to be done. Pol Pot committed genocide, but Vader killed for fun. Fun! Why does everyone hate me? When will it pass? I'm going to bend over so you can kiss my balls. It's nature. Shit happens. God made me what I am. Just like Charlie Manson, Michael Moore, and Son of Sam. It's nature. Shit happens. I'm not trying to be coy. That's just the way God made me, bitches. That's why I sodomize that boy! Cobra Eye.